Hi, my name is Michael J. Meindl, and I'm the director and producer of Manhattan Marionettes, a documentary project that looks at the history and current state of puppetry here in the greater New York City area. We're looking at all 5 boroughs, and already we have representatives from each one. We are also looking at all types of puppetry, including marionettes, hand and rod, shadow, robots, even digital avatars. I have had an interest in puppets for a very long time. From elementary school, when we learned about the alphabet through puppets, to my graduate work at the University of Georgia, where I looked at the theory behind a perception of puppets and animation. While I have often been behind the camera or behind the scenes, I have taken workshops from such artists as Basil Twist and Stephen Whitmire. It is through these artists, as well as other performers and performances here in New York City and beyond, that has inspired me to continue to explore this art form in more depth. Our current list of subjects include, but is not limited to, vaudeville, Tony Sarg, the WPA, Sue Hastings, Bill Baird, Sesame Street, international influences, puppet slams, puppetry on Broadway and off-Broadway, and a number of contemporary artists and organizations. This is an extremely abbreviated list, and I look forward to finding more and more things to discuss as we continue our research. While this project has only been in development for a relatively short amount of time, the list of puppeteers, puppet scholars, puppet theaters, research institutions, and just those who love puppets has grown and continues to grow tremendously. I have been overwhelmed by the puppet community's support of this project and want to thank everyone who has come on board already. I do want to mention the New York Public Library for the Performing Arts, which has become one of our main research supporters. The staff there has already been extremely helpful in finding materials related to New York City puppetry, and I look forward to continuing to work with them as this project develops. Our initial goal is to create a few short-form documentary videos focused on small, manageable topics. In order to garner attention for the project, some of these would be sent around the festival circuit in the hopes of being screened and, perhaps, winning some awards. Our goal of $20,000 will help us fund the project for the next year and will allow us to produce these few short films. The money will go toward covering costs already incurred, purchasing equipment, obtaining rights and licenses, costs of travel around New York City, and to a few collections of subjects located around the United States, entry fees to festivals, and, hopefully, be able to offer a small stipend to those who are able to help with production or research assistance. Any money we raise beyond this goal will go toward producing a feature-length documentary and, depending on how much we raise, help fund other initiatives centered on exploring and communicating the history of puppetry in New York City. I want to thank you for checking out our video, and I encourage you to help us in any way you can. It is through your support that we will be able to tell the stories of numerous New York City puppet artists, both past and present. And now I'm going to hand this video off to a few members of the puppet community so they can tell you a little bit about themselves, their thoughts about New York City puppetry, and their views on this project.
Oh, I think it's great. Anything that helps plug puppetry, the art of puppetry, and puppeteers and puppet makers is great. It just shows the people that it's not a dead art form. It's not really.
I think that a project like this is really important because it's important for puppetry to be seen as something serious.
I think the project Manhattan Marionettes is a great time capsule to show where puppetry in the city is right now and give a little idea of where it might go.
I think the value of the Manhattan Marionettes is that it's going to do the long overdue project of documenting all the Manhattan puppetry, all those different styles of puppetry.
And I think that Manhattan Marionettes is going to be the project that's going to open people's eyes to, wow, what a broad field.
We need more documentation of puppet history in general, I think. in the United States, but specifically New York, because New York has been such a hub and there's so many different kinds of puppetry here now, and there have been.
I know plenty of older puppeteers, you know, who in the 80s, 90s, almost, you know, hundreds, whatever. And I don't know if anybody have ever documented everything that they did.
Because I don't think anybody has ever done this before, to get all of the puppeteers in New York City talking about the work that they do. It's pretty amazing, and I wonder...
I think it's important to document what we're doing, and anything that gets us into the media and awareness is very, very valuable. I think that what we're doing is people are not aware of it.
I think it's really important to document the art form of puppetry. I think it's important for us to reflect, like we're doing right now, on what's currently happening in the New York City scene with puppetry, and also able to look and see where we've all come
If
from.
you look down from the Tony Sarg tree of who worked for who, it really is fascinating. And I love that. I love who were you inspired by, and who made you want to do this? You know? For a lot of people it's Jim Henson, but for a lot of others it goes up to Tony Sarg and the family tree, which is so cool.
If you are able to contact as many groups as are out there and bring them in somehow, I think that the New York area really could use a group hug of some kind.
Happening, and we've had such a rich history. A lot of things that people have forgotten about. There were things that went on in the 20s and 30s that we know very little about. The research is very poor, so it'd be nice to somehow get some recognition. I mean,
the more people that write down our story, especially the little stories that aren't like the big ones you see on TV, the better. And so that's why when I saw this, you know, when you contacted me about this project, I was like, yes, absolutely, yeah. More people need to be out there with cameras, filming puppet shows and getting the behind the scenes with puppeteers. Absolutely, and I think everyone in our community loves and supports that.
It's time, and I'm very happy to have met you, and I'm very pleased you're doing this, because there are many puppeteers of the past that I think there should be a little tidbit in this. Tip your hat to them.
Hello, this is Mayor Mike Thunberg, the mayor of Manhattan, and I want to say that the Manhattan Marionette Project has my full endorsement as an event.